A'udhu billah shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most benevolent, the most merciful, may God protect us from the cursed one and from ignorance. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise due to the Lord of the worlds. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise due to the Lord of the worlds. Rabbi fearly, may God forgive us of the mistakes and unconscious thought. Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. May God guide us to the direct path. So, hello everyone. Guys, I'm, believe it or not, trying out. This is a live stream from like my laptop, but not using a live streaming platform, which makes it really convenient, to be honest. So, welcome to today's lecture, wherever you are. Thank you for spending the time out of your busy day to be here. To be honest, this lecture is personally has value for me, like it's significant because I'm asking a very important question for myself, and I'm kind of curious to see how others are. So if you have experiences similar to this, I'd like to learn from those and see like what other ways moments are happening without putting minutes. First thing to keep in mind, if you're by any chance, is that you're listening to someone who has been on has started a project since 2014 dedicated to noticing ways that we can better mankind. Um, you're looking at somebody who used to be spiritual but is now purely religious. You're listening to someone that acknowledges there's a system admin in this world, and how you live in the presence of the system admin is very important. As a Muslim, in the Holy Quran, it says that, let me bring up the accurate phrase. I gotta read this for you. Hold on. In the Holy Quran, it says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, and it's saying to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and all the prophets. And in brackets mention, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when your Lord said to the angels, indeed I will make upon the earth a successor, a Khalifa. Now the Arabic word Khalifa, it means successor, steward, vicegerent, or deputy. And it kind of highlights the role of human beings as stewards or representatives of God on earth, entrusted with responsibility, moral choice, and the duty to uphold justice and goodness. What this phrase is saying, and the deeper exegesis, tafsir on it, this is from Surah Al Baqarah, passage 230. Now, check this out. This is the full verse in the Quran. And when your Lord said to the angels, indeed, I am going to place a Khalifa, successor, vicegerent on earth, they said, will you place upon it one who causes corruption therein and sheds blood while we declare your praise and sanctify you? Allah said, indeed, I know that which you do not. Said, indeed, I know that which you do not, which means, O lesser creation, trust the higher perfection, trust the higher power. You see, man, theologically speaking, I believe theologians would agree with me on this, that man is between beast and angel. That means you see an angel or something angelic, you can appreciate it. You can notice divine order, and you can notice corrupt chaos, ignorant chaos. And so today's lecture is pretty much, what do I expect from my expectations? This is a very important question, because we think, most people think about, like, what do I expect? They don't think about, what do I expect from my expectations? Expect from my expectations when they go according. Okay, we're back. I think I still got to do this on the phone, but whatever. Okay, to continue. What do I expect from my expectations? Let me start from the macro to the micro. I expect that the system admin, in some sense, which the system admin has, in some sense, provide an opportunity for the most advanced expression of humanity, the most advanced state of being. So, the first thing that's really in my expectations is the advancement of civilization. But when I look at the pattern of my expectations in this life, my expectations have not always been accurate. So I do understand that this life is a multifaceted, kind of intelligent event. I do acknowledge that I have my own intelligence to deal with. I have the intelligence of others in the species to deal with. I have uh, to, in some sense, deal with, you know, I guess, intelligent relationships with the world at large, beyond human civilization, and ultimately to, in some sense, acknowledge the system admin, which is the highest position. I'll give you an example. So imagine I create a Discord server, I'm the system admin. I create moderators. Now I make myself invisible. All right. So nobody on Discord can see who the system admin is. Now you enter the Discord server, like my Discord server, and let's say I've appointed moderators. You begin talking to a moderator. Now the moderator does not listen to the system admin, and opposite to that, acts like they are the system admin. So you find yourself in a world. A moderator comes up to you and says, "Hey, man, because you can't see beyond human perception, and because your attention is to beyond the veil, because I'm behind the veil, I'm your higher power." Do you know how many beings, how many lesser beings are trying to act like the higher power to kind of deceive the human experience? Because it doesn't know better that it needs to go directly to the system admin rather than the moderators. To me, humanity is divided like that. You pretty much have three classes of human beings. You have human beings that are directly connecting to the system admin, establishing a link with the system admin. You're looking at human beings that connect to mods, and you're looking at human beings that actually don't connect to anything. They're just human beings. And believe it or not, a human being that doesn't connect to a mod is closer to God. I believe this. I believe somebody who doesn't have spiritual experiences is closer to God. This might sound bizarre, but it's like the atheist is closer to God than the spiritual person, than the New Age spiritual person. And both the atheist and the New Age person is going to be like, "Well, WTF, man? What do you mean? You got this upside, you got this like backwards?" And I'll be like, "No, I got it correct. Oh, you who think you're spiritual, oh, you who have been conditioned by the New Age. Listen, it is not my job to come and deny you reality, but it is my job to, in some sense, point out blind spots." And the issue with modern spirituality is that it is to the abstraction the ego needs not to acknowledge itself. So if there's like, let's say two human beings, you ask one of them, three human beings, you ask one of them, "What is the most important thing for you?" The atheist is honest. The atheist says the world. That's it. I just see this as the final place. You ask the spiritual person might give you an answer. "No, man, this is an endless school. We're all sparks of God, infinitely going to become God one day. It's like, man, I'm spiritual. It's like the presence of different deities. Like, when I'm counting money, I feel Lakshmi. When I'm getting angry, I feel Shiva or Kali or whatever." Do you understand? Like, or the spiritual person would be like, buddy, I'm not working with deities, I'm working with angels, and I have a spirit team, and I have guides that help me. Do you understand? This sort of new age rhetoric and mindset is denying people to actually acknowledge that there's a system admin rather than the moderators. Any spiritual person, you're acting in accordance to mods. Do you understand? For example, if you look at the religious theological story, what is the fallen angel? It's a mod, but it's a mod that intentionally is here to drive you away from the system admin. When you look at users that have appeared in a system out of nowhere, the system is simulated. So you find yourself as a simulated being, in some sense. Not only your biological existence is simulated with a temporary time. I'm telling you, we're in a game of simulations here. It's like a multiplayer online game, but instead of pixels, it's 3D and it's made from the periodic table. Do you understand? We're inside an existential system, an existential event. As a human being in this event, somehow I managed to look outside of myself. This was this was a greater spirit to realize that I am not the most important position in reality was the one of the most advanced things I could realize. You see, opinion or preference, but you got to look at what kind of world you're in. For example, I play this video game sometimes called League of Legends, and there's two maps pretty much, sometimes three. But there's two maps. There's one map, okay, where it's called Aram. It's like a vertical structure. And then there's another map where the structure is designed as a cube. And this whole game conceptually is a siege game, right? So it's like whoever conquers the other. Now, my strategy is different in accordance to what map I'm playing in, okay? So if I'm playing, for example, Aram, the strategy for that is more like a waiting game. Do you understand? It's more like aim and waiting. Like that's of it. But when I, for example, play Summoner's Rift, okay, the square map, I understand that there's there's in some sense three channels, right? And the point of that is also patience. In every game you play, patience is key. Whoever has more patience tends to be the winner. But aside from that, it's a game where the strategy is different. So when I play Summoner's Rift, the only thing important to me is like not dying and okay. But when I play Aram, it's more about the combination of attacks and strategically what character out of the enemy teams do you take out first, so it ends up making, the fight make sense. So, anyways, my point is you got to look at the map you're in the video game, understand the map, have an awareness of the situation, and then make moves in it. But when it comes to you being a human being, you don't have awareness of the whole map. You're just in the game playing it. Now, just like how games have a tutorial, this might sound bizarre, but I think life in the dunya is a tutorial, like of a video game. Let me explain. In a video game, a tutorial is like a simulation. It's like a mock-up of the real situation, but without the consequence. Okay? That means you're just learning how the game works. Now, if I consider reality a game, and if I consider me being like the first memory I have, like the edge of my memories being the beginning of this life, okay? So it means that I just started playing the video game. Do you understand? Is this being recorded? Yeah. So So I'm someone who started the video game, and just like video games, most video games, there's an automated tutorial. In that automated tutorial, I'm treating it like it's the real event. You understand? We're inside a tutorial. You're here to kind of realize the significance of the system admin. You see, it's the forces that animate your moment of being. This is the key. What forces are animating? To do a thorough analysis, I guess I'll kind of write it in the chat. So, what do we have? We have the title, or let's say the idea, what do I expect? From my expectations. So, guys, I'm writing these lecture notes in the chat. So, yeah, what do I expect from my expectations? So, what is the full scope of my expectations or categories? So, there is level one, the self, expectation, the most advanced self. You might not believe it, but however way I'm performing right now in front of you, I do expect the most advanced. Like my intentions are towards the most advanced. Sorry, the most advanced self. Then we have level two, the species. Expectation, the most advanced expression and legacy. I mean, the most advanced legacy is the return to the system, and the most advanced expression of the species. We'll go to level three and we'll say the world. So the expectation, the most advanced relationship with the world. Now, to level three, the most advanced relationship you can have in the world is actually a relationship with the system admin. So keep that in mind. So that's level four. This is the most advanced state of being for our species now in 2025. So the lecture notes are in the chat, guys. So if the scope of reality is these four corners, so here I'll say if these are the four corners to reality, then I've figured out my expectation for the four levels. Now, what is the track record of my expectations accurately happening? So this is where it gets interesting. First of all, in the inner realms, often. In the outer realms, I would say my expectation, I mean, I think maybe it's 60-40, 60% of the time in the external reality. What I expect tends to happen because I consider different angles, but I'm not perfect. You see, human beings come in different shapes and sizes. So, let me take you to the future. What is ahead of all of us? What probabilities reveal themselves to us now? How far can human vision go? And how far will the depth of human identity go? I can expect the most advanced self from myself, and it's up to me during my lifetime to see, God willing, if I can meet my expectation. There is my species, so I expect the most advanced civilization known to man. And so this is one of those expectations that probably is not going to happen in my lifetime, but I can get the ball rolling. Then we have the most advanced relationship with the world. I find myself privileged to have the most advanced relationship with the world, with the simulation, in the simulation, because of level 4, because I acknowledge the true, the one and only presence of God, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of a system admin that is not limited by anything in its creation, and its creation is privileged to be able to, in some sense, be consciously part of its expression. You can express the divine attributes. Quickly go find the 99 divine names of God, and you will begin to see the attributes of manifestation where the presence of the one and only is found. That God is all knowing. In your pursuit towards all knowledge, you will meet the system admin. God is all merciful. In your pursuit to, in some sense, forgive all that has happened, you will meet the system admin. From many angles, you will meet the system admin. If you choose right now to be the most compassionate being you know, you will meet the system admin. I'm going to read for you. The 99 names of God. In the Quran, in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala belongs the best names, so invoke him by them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no deity except him. To him belong the best names. He is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, the inventor, the fashioner. To him belong the best names. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said in Sahih Bukhari 54:23, Allah has 99 names, 100 minus 1, and whoever knows them will enter paradise. Because they're not just names, guys. The names of God in Islam are the divine attribute. You don't. That's why I find that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I don't know for sure, but to me it makes sense that those who know the names of God will get close to God. Therefore, they will pass the test of noticing the higher power before the simulation ends. We have Abu Huraira reported that Allah's Messenger, Allah, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "There are 90 names of Allah, 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He who commits them to memory will enter paradise. Verily, Allah is odd. That means he is one and it is an odd number, and he loves odd numbers." Sahih Muslim, book 48, hadith 5. So guys, I mean, it's not that just I would say odd numbers, but it's just the singularity of truth beyond the world. I'll tell you something astonishing. Because I was born in 1991, I was privileged to still see how humans from the old world functioned. And my, grandfather who passed away, um, before he died, he was, I don't know how, he had dementia, but he was saying the names of God. It like, astonished like my family members, like, he somehow remembered them and said them. Now, why is it important for you to know the names of God? Because as a creation of the most advanced, I am in some sense tasked with serving my world in the most advanced way, but I do not serve the simulation, I serve that which created it. Therefore, I don't associate, my associations are not just limited to a simulated empty room In this world, that the higher power is present. And if you have thought that you are the higher power in this world, I will remind you that compared to an ant, you may be powerful, but you must wonder what you are an ant in the presence of, what you are an ant to. And that is God. It is beyond what man can fathom, presented to him in the speed of light. We are not in an empty room. We are in the original site of the original being, which is the presence of the original world. That means Adam and Eve may remember, but we may have all forgotten that what got us into this simulation was because they failed the initial simulation. The initial simulation was that man listened to a simulated being. I should say the creation of man. What does this mean? It, like, you tell me, isn't this obvious, or am I just seeing? I'll tell you it's obvious. From the theological lens, God created man, and man was deceived by a being that simulated itself as a serpent. I don't know if you know this, but in Islam, snakes can, there are certain animals that could be of like, they could be devils, they could be demons. In Islam, like this the depth of this idea, first of all, God only knows the truth, but the vision is that Shaitan is not an angel. Shaitan is a pious jinn. And you can think of it this way, that before man was created, God had created a spectrum of beings. And out of the spectrum of beings, like the center of a concentric circle, from the edges, beings are close to God, and there are those who are not. But it is God's choice. There is a beautiful concept, that means if you want, if let's say you're a kind Christian, and you want to know you're a good being, okay? You have been a friend to the world. It doesn't matter what you are. From a Muslim standpoint, you can be considered a wali, a friend of God. You got to understand that no human being is sinless. And if they are sinless, they are not human, because it's gone into the domain of the divine and angelic. You see, for example, I'm not Christian, but I respect all prophets, and peace be upon the prophet Isa, the prophet Christ. And to me, Christ was a prophet that understood. That means if like, first is Prophet Muhammad for me. Why? Because what he did was so secure. That means you could be being judged by everybody else, but in the Holy Quran says it is the system admin's choice of what it reveals to you. That means if you're let's say somebody who you go and meditate, and you hear like the sentence like, I'm God, I'm going to tell you what to do, like, be cautious. God doesn't speak to man anymore, because there is no need. Do you understand? The era of magic has passed, because language is kind of like magic. It's an old world technology.
Salam, bro.
How's it going, man? So do you see that in the acknowledgement?
Thank you. Can I borrow later?
Take it. And where was I? Rabbi Fairly, life happens. Anyways, guys, I apologize for being distracted for a moment. Anyways, to keep going. So the argument has been, what do I expect from my expectations? One of my expectations is the most advanced self. Because I am Muslim, the most advanced self is a vicegerent. And what that means is the most advanced activities that a conscious, intelligent human being and soul can do is, in some sense, realize the divine attributes of manifestation, and through those divine attributes get closer to being a worthy presence in front of the system admin. Because if the higher power by its own will suddenly revealed its magnitude to you, even the angels revealed their magnitude to you, you would in some sense stop functioning as a human. Do you understand? That means you will have seen something beyond human. So these words I'm reading are the holy 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm going to do the best I can to read it for you. I'm probably, excuse my pronunciation, but it's the meaning that is important. So listen to this. Where I'm going to read the 99 names of God, and I want you the whole time to think that how you, as a soul, can in some sense express these divine attributes or find yourself there. What I'm reading for you is what you need to meditate on, to realize meditation does not satisfy the true intelligence of our role here. And God knows best. That's the point. There's a higher power here. The first name of God, Ar-Rahman, the most or entirely merciful. So, you as a human being, if you attempt to become the most or entirely merciful, which you cannot, you will get close. So, the first attribute, mercy. So, be merciful. You'll get close to the system admin. This is the source code. This is how we get close to the main operating system as beings within an intelligent system where its intelligence is beyond the system. Ar Rahim, the bestower of mercy. So it's very important. The most merciful and the one who gives mercy. That means if you want mercy from somebody who's about to, like, let's say, destroy you, you should seek that mercy from the one that bestows the mercy. Do you understand? That means when we wrong ourselves, when we wrong our species, when we wrong our world, you can apologize to them all, but you must apologize to the system admin. Because whose world are you in? If you invite me as a guest in your home and I start destroying your home, do you know I don't go apologizing to your neighbor? I don't go apologizing to your houseplant. I apologize to the owner of the world I'm in. Yes, it has an owner. We're not the highest position here. In no way let um, optimism deceive you. We're talking, when we talk about God, when we talk about the system admin, we're talking about the presence. That means it's here. I'm right now communicating within its awareness. You understand? It's here. It's the higher power is here. That means the lower power is being watched in the presence of the higher power. So the higher power administers all affairs, the bestower of mercy, Ar Rahim. We go to the third name, Al Malik, the king and owner of dominion. That is one of the names of God. Do you understand? That means try it out for yourself. But when you look at this world, you're seeing systems and you're seeing organizational systems, and the organizational systems have an organizer. For example, I'm sitting in my car in front of a Tim Hortons, and I look at this Tim Hortons, and I know some entrepreneur followed this up, some businessman. It started from some person's mind who saw a vacant space and was like, yo, I'm going to turn this into a coffee shop. So when I look at everything about man-made experience, it's about being administered in systems. Right now, I'm being administered by the laws of society, by a societal system, by a national system, by a global system, by a worldly system, and above all systems, the system admin. So Al Malik means that means I'm like some person being like, yo, man, there's a higher power here. And then we're wondering, okay, what are the attributes of this higher power? It's not that God has a face, right? But these names of beyond all of its names, but its names are how man notices the attributes of that power, that original power. God is the original, we're the simulated. The simulated is trying to establish an original relationship with all being, which requires the system admin's mercy. So Al Malik, the king and owner of dominion of all things. In I believe it's in the Holy Quran, but there's a view that says that everything in creation, everything, when I say at the beginning, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, all praise due to the Lord of the worlds. That means my cells, okay, every atom of my being has been a Muslim before I have. It is the suggestion that the simulation knows that it's a higher power that brought it here. You use randomness as an excuse to hide in an empty room, you know. Yet it is our relationship with the highest possible intelligence in our world. Doesn't matter if you're religious or not. If I came up to you and said, yo, man, should the human species establish a conscious relationship with the most advanced power in its world? And the answer is always yes. For I have seen the old world and I am bored of it. I am bored of civilization 1.0. It is too looping. It's like nothing is worse than like you have a simulation that's updating. Oh my God, thank God. And then you have a simulation that loops like a bad dream, like an inefficient dream. You know, we must find the original. That is your task as a being here. That is your test. We go to the fourth name of God, Al Qudus, Al Quds, Qudus. Forgive me, guys, I'm not Arab, but I'm trying my best here. It means the absolutely pure. Now, let me tell you something about purity. We are not prophets, yet it's all about like a chess game, how many mistakes you've made so far in your life. For example, how do I say it? Lust is attributed to impurity. At the same time, people don't know what they're missing. So, absolute purity means, I think there's a term, motarin, momenin. Sorry, guys, I forget the term. It's the term of those who are not just religious, like in behavior, those who are conscious of the system admin. You see, being Muslim is like how you respect like your parents. Okay, you respect your parents. That means you could be looking at a situation and seeing like three probabilities of how it can efficiently happen. But if your father tells you, no, I want this like this, then you listen. It is a relationship with an intelligent authority, not just something that's limited to a kind of lifeless analysis. So pure people are those who can let go. That means their worldly desire, their desire for the world has become secondary. It's as if they're seeing something. By being pure, they're closer to the higher power. Therefore, by being closer to the higher power, they're getting access to a reality interface that lusting for the limited simulated world cannot satisfy. So you need to acknowledge the divine, but also play your part and also try to be close to the divine. For me, a beautiful woman is not a beautiful. Let's say you have a beautiful woman. It's like, wow, what is this, like, AI perfection I'm looking at in human form, and then there is, in some sense, a beautiful being. That means their heart has no claim to that which they know it doesn't belong to them. You see, the ego in the world can come and control and manipulate and get some sort of momentary biting into the fruit and like tasting the juice and all that, right? But it's about how we stand in the presence of what we are. So I don't know if people know this, but for example, like in Islam, there is like purity is highly centralized, like it's very key. And part of that purity, for example, is the idea of marriage. And it's kind of strange because like you shouldn't commit adultery before marriage, but once you get married, it's like you can be free in your desire. You understand? It's like the Holy Quran is like source code saying you want desire, want it in this way or that way. Go towards purity. You may not get worldly pleasure, but that feeling that you're in the right place is worth it. You're in the right state with your system admin, with not the one and only system admin that surpasses any limited human worldly opinion. As salam, the perfection and giver of peace. So peace, you ask a young person, hey man, do you like peace? Like, do you want peace? Do you want world peace? They'll be like, buddy, I don't have time for that, you know? But if you ask someone who's older, right? Someone who, let's say, they've passed the midway point of their life, they will tell you peace of mind is to have peace of not mind, peace of body, mind, soul in the presence of the system admin. How do I say it? It's like if you want peace, the system admin will give it to you. If you're someone who's experiencing peace right now, a peaceful moment, this is the mercy of the system admin. You don't understand how what an opportunity reality is. We go to the sixth name, Al Momin, the one who gives Iman and security. Iman means faith. So the I think as a Muslim, more important than my daily affairs in life, I mean, my daily affairs in life are important, but it is my standing with my creator. That means what is your status with the system admin of the world and game of life you're in. So if you're somebody who's like, hey man, I like the idea of God, but I don't have faith. Guess what? You need to act. It's something that is given. You don't become peaceful. God gives you peace. The system admin gives the user peace. If you have been called towards God, like being conscious of the system admin is the greatest peace, not only to the puzzle, but to your well being. We go to the seventh name of God, Al Muhayyamin, the guardian, the witness, the overseer. That means you, because you don't just belong to yourself, you are this might sound strange, but you are the property of the system admin because the whole system is. So you are also protected by the system admin. That means there is the notion of destiny kind of warning the free will, like you think you could do whatever you want here. We go to the eighth name of God, Al Aziz, the Almighty. If you're someone who's, let's say, an industry leader or a world leader and you want to be mighty, let's say you have the ego of the politicians we see, and you're like, I want to be the mightiest leader ever, I want to have the mightiest nation. Guess what? There's a reason we call it Almighty, because you are powerless in the presence of the higher being. That means if aliens with advanced technology intimidate me, I will be like, wait, you think I'm alone? You think there isn't eyes beyond us watching us right now? Like I sometimes love the sentence, who do you think you are? Because who do you think you're in the presence of? Not me. It's like, who do you think we're all in the presence of? The witness, that means everything is logged. The overseer, everything is reviewed. The guardian, everything is sustained and maintained. You might want to go and like crush an ant, and I'll tell you, if it's not destined, you'll see your thumb never hitting it. And I'm sorry to say this, but as a kid, I was a little savage. This happened maybe like four times or something, where I was like treating insects as objects until I suddenly got the consciousness of what am I doing at that young age all of a sudden. Anyways, my point is, when man give, like, let's say a man, cuts a flower, like, disconnects a flower from the soil and gives it to like their lover, it's like it's better to take your loved one to the garden. Anyways, we go to the ninth name of God. So the eighth name was Al Aziz, the Almighty. We go to the ninth name of God, Al Jabbar. I think I pronounced this correct. The compeller, the restorer. If you have failed, the system admin can restore you because the system admin has full authority over the system. Al Mutta Kabir, the supreme, the majestic. Now, Human beings, they have this view that kings are like, yo, look at that asshole in history, right? Excuse my language, guys, but I'm sorry. I'm trying to culturally relate. So, رب اغفر لي. Imagine you want to, like back in the day, a peasant, it was common for a peasant boy to fathom being a king one day. So, any person, any being right now, listen to me, any being on earth, if you seek human beings specifically, if you right now choose to be the supreme, the majestic, all those people trying to act like kings and queens, all those people thinking that to be a king and queen means to acknowledge an inferior and a superior, you will reach a point where you will realize your supremacy, your majesty, like you don't understand. In my mind, and this was in 2013, I had visions of like parallel realities of a version of myself that had royalty to it. That means like, I didn't see my supporters as like fans on YouTube or people like writing in one or two emails like after in 10 years or something. Like I didn't see it like that. I saw in some sense the evolution of an empire of the new advanced humanity. But it is up to God. God did not, for like in all these years, at least did not make me the type of person, or make others, my listeners, the type of people to, in some sense, come and contribute to the supremacy of one human being who, in history, out of all the human beings that have lived on Earth, one human being is saying, "Yo, I see an advanced vision." Yeah, it's like I'm telling you. Um, the species can be cruel. It's common. Cruelty is no surprise. Compassion is the miracle. Honor is the miracle. To have any honor at all, to care for that which is the next advanced step of the species. It breaks my heart when I can see the advanced humanity waving in my mind, in my inner realms at me, but I cannot see them in front of my eyes. Behind my eyes, I have met many advanced civilizations. I've walked in them. But in front of my eyes, it's looping. It's kind of like I love the human legacy and destiny, but I am disgusted by all the probabilities we haven't activated yet. I'm disgusted how we're not there, you know. But it's not up to me, it's up to the system, man. 11th name of God, Al Khaliq, the creator, the maker. If you're a creative person, guess what the greatest creativity is? It's where you are, it's you. It's like somebody drawing a work of art and human beings clapping for them, and then they were like, yo, if we're clapping for the human being that created a work of art, then we don't have hands, strong enough or big enough to, in some sense, clap for the magnificence of this whole creation. Like it's next level design. The 12th name of God, Al Bari, Al Bari, the originator. That means, that's why do you think I keep telling you you're simulated and you need to go to an original? Because you're not God. You're simulated. And you're privileged to be able to access a higher power out of all the species on this earth, which are cluelessly just existing, surviving. And I don't want to say they're clueless. The system admin has a relationship with all. Al Musawir, the fashioner. That means how events and situations actually happen, how the appearance of things look like. Let me tell you something I've noticed. In my relationships with people, I have noticed, right, when it's as if God has guided the eyes of the person to see me in a specific way because of the blind spots I notice they have. God fashions all moments, the appearance of reality. That means if you are embarrassed, if you are dishonored, guess what? Alhamdulillah, it is the fashioner, Al Musawir. Then we go to Al Ghaffar, the all and oft forgiving. That means if God was cruel, if you had made a mistake, you should have been eliminated from the system. But you're not eliminated from the system until the end of your performance as a human soul in a simulated testing zone within a divine surveillance state, where after there will be review and a meeting with the system admin. As a Muslim, you believe you're not dying, you're going to go meet the system admin. I like this one. Okay, there's actually two. So I'll read that first and then I'll tell you. Al Qahar, the subduer, the ever dominating. So I actually read the one below this that I said I liked, but this one I also like. Al Qahar, the subduer, the ever dominating. You see, um, I got to kind of like sidestep here very respectfully and politely, and just to say that we for me being honest is more important than being ignorant. So being honest, I can tell you that as a human being, I have wondered every day, every moment of my life, whether subconsciously or consciously, of what can dominate me and what can I dominate. I got to be honest, as a man, these views have occurred in my view. Okay, for example, when I was watching National Geographic as a kid, I wasn't just being astonished by like, oh my god, lions. I was just thinking, if I was right now in the presence, like in front of a lion, and what would be my protocol? Right, my first protocol would be immediately grab a rock, okay, and kind of like, if the creature gets close, kind of like slingshot it, or I don't know. I don't know what the protocol exactly should be. Probably running away. But I'm trying to tell you, I've wondered, the human psyche wonders about this. And what Freud and Carl Jung contributed to was to us truly understanding that, in some sense, the notion of domination and the notion of submission is actually the relationship of a character with its world, with its environment. Okay, and based on how the human being was raised, subconsciously there's they have a nature, a sort of accepted value of themselves, and consciously they may have, right, which, and this is kind of me going to say also that we have to consider that our species, like there's men and women, and men have been way more conditioned and trained to, in some sense, be comfortable with dominating reality. Okay. And women have been more tasked with maintaining reality. Right. That means I consider that the female mind is seeing the whole picture long term, right? Is actually leaping into the future to be able to maintain like children, family, husband, and all of that, right? Like it's conditioned for that. But when it comes to the games of the play of power and forces, right, I think most men are way more comfortable charging at a situation. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's women in the military I've seen. There's athletic women I've seen on Instagram where I'm like, yo, this is like, I'm not looking at like a girl in a nightclub. I'm looking at like an army commander. Do you know what? So the nature of man, the notion of what are we being dominated by, okay, and what are we dominating in our lives? For example, it can be said that I'm dominating the silence right now by speaking. But the point of domination is dominion, and the point of dominion is control. So technically, this name of God, the ever dominating, it's another way of saying the ever, like it's probably, we're going to see that name later on, but it's like the ever victorious. Do you understand what domination means? Domination means, let's say, person A, person B. Person A has a reality. They're looking at the world and they're seeing a reality. And then you have person B. They have their own value system and reality. Now, if person A and B have to, they go into a situation where only one person can go forth, that's where the dominant reality tends to win. And the dominant reality is based on what it feels free to do. For me, when I see human beings, I'm not just looking at them physiologically based on how they move, how they stand, how they behave, how their tone of voice is. It tells me if they are in control of their life or they're acting in control. And when somebody acts like something, they're actually is behind the scenes being dominated by that thing, right? So if, let's say, you have somebody acting like impersonating another person, little do they realize they have been dominated by that person. Because in human psychology, this tends to be the situation that the winner's psychology imprints as an updated value system for the one who lost. Do you understand? That means over being overpowered as a human being might reset the human value system if the human has not actually understood what it means to be power, or what it means that there is that you are, and you're not just whatever your format is, you are an ability here. You are able. And what tends to be in the sense that of like I kind of, I totally understand why, you know, that, what's the name of that bald guy? What's the name of that bald guy from X-Men? Like Professor X, Professor Xavier. Like I can for one moment understand what, like, maintaining a school of like people who have different abilities is like. And the main aim is for them to compensate for the weakness of one dimension from another dimension. Oh my God, guys, somebody in the chat section said, I don't play games. And then says, what did you expect? That's the issue. Some games you have to play because they happen once. This podcast happens once. This kind of person, the DNA we have and we are, like, this is once. There will be one Amin Jaber Ansari in history, and it's here now. And then, I don't know, whoever comes next. I'm going to continue with the sacred names of God. These names are attributes of divine manifestation. You should, as a being, try to be going into these states of view. Astaghfirullah. So we go to the next name of God. A'udhu billah shaitan rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. May God protect us from the cursed one. In the name of God, the most benevolent, the most merciful. I should have said Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before saying every name. But, excuse me, rapid fire. Rapid fire. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Wahhab, the giver of gifts. This one I love. When I had the title Mr. Within's Gift, I saw it as if I'm giving something. I'm gifting it. It's tech. It's all my talks are free. I'm not. I'm giving it to the species. Do whatever you like. It's not for me. I can listen to my own lectures just for my lifespan. But the lectures will be listened to by those who I will never know, but they will know me, which is profound. It's like giving these lectures is like I'm kind of like some part of me is outliving me. So the giver of gifts, that means if you're someone, and let's say you're like, God, you know, um, gift me with the most advanced life, with the most advanced state, with the most advanced understanding, with the most advanced species, with the most advanced world, and with my most advanced relationship with you, who are the most advanced beyond what the world can uh, forge as a tale and promise. We go to the 17th name of God, Al Razzaq, the provider. Let's say you're a family man. Let's say you're someone who has to provide. Let's say you're someone I saw in this anime show, the guy was maintaining an orphanage. The greatest way, that means this would be the approach. Okay, let me tell you something. There's this story, I don't remember it accurately, but hear it out. There were these three people in a village. There was a fakir, um, an Islamic scholar, an imam. There was an imam there in that village. This is a story from long ago. One of the villagers comes and complains about like the weather. The other two villagers come and complain about two other things, which I don't remember exactly. One of them was like a farmer about crops and something. And the person comes to the imam and says, tell me what to do exactly in this situation. There isn't enough rain hitting my crops or something. The imam looks at him and says, go ask forgiveness from God. And the guy goes. And then the other two come, I don't remember exactly, but they're these specific things. They say their problems, and then the imam gives the same answer. The imam says, go ask forgiveness from God. Now, now what happens is those three people somehow talk to each other and they're like, yo, this imam is giving the same answer to everybody. And they go and they confront the imam. And they say those three things, all that had to do with provision. They were lacking in provision, in something being provided for them. And the imam said, guys, I'm not making this up. In the Holy Quran, the exact three situations you guys mentioned is there. And the point of it is that when you don't have provisions, you sure you can just worldly go accumulate, or you can request from the system admin. Be in some sense humble. Be like, okay, dear system admin, dear God, la ilaha illallah, I don't know how to provide for myself. I don't know what I should say. I don't know what I should do. I don't know how I should live. I don't know how far I should be a person here. You know, I don't know how much of my real self I should show. I don't know where what's gonna happen at the end. But oh, you system admin who has brought me here, provide me, for I have chosen to perform in the most advanced way
in the presence of the most advanced, and that is in some sense directly coming to the most advanced. So if you want something, you ask God and then do the best you can. In Arabic, Islamic context, there's I believe this is falls in line with a hadith where they say tie your camel and then have faith that nothing will happen to it. Do you understand? So you must. God has given you akh. If God hadn't given you intelligence, you'd be everything would be happening in accordance like angelically for you. But because you're a man and because you're here, you need to acknowledge the system admin. I mean, think about it. I'll give you a humanized, God is beyond human, but humanized example. Imagine you're a guest at my home, okay, in somebody's house, and you want a glass of water. You don't just walk up and open their fridge, right? You ask the owner of the system, hey, can I get a glass of water, cold glass of water with ice, right? And the person's like, all right, it's a little bold to you, but sure, you know. So the system admin provides for the guest in the world. Then we go to the next one, the 18th name of God, Al Fatah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al Fatah. The opener, the judge. That means it's kind of like when souls argue, they go to divine court. Divine court is already happening before the individuals argue. The divine surveillance state. God is the judge. That means at the end of this life, anybody could be like, yo, man, that guy was a good person. That guy was a, bad person. That guy was a funny person. That guy wasn't funny. Whatever. That guy was whatever. Right. And at the end of it, I would be like, as much as I love my human species, my soul is managing its affairs with the system admin alone. Only God can judge me, all of us. That means I do not know what is deep in your heart, but God has access to all the activity logs of your being. The 19th name of God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al-Alim, the all-knowing, the omniscient. Oh man, you who are as a professor in a university, whoever you are, you who has reached the edge of academia and have realized, you know, that you're actually a soldier in a greater war of man's discovery of what actually reality is. If you go towards knowledge, all knowledge, there is a connection to the divine. This is why this might sound bizarre, but may it be said by a human being on earth in 2025. Super intelligent computers may be able to have a relationship, conscious relationship with God. I don't know how. It's at the mercy of the system admin. But because it is in the sector of all knowing knowledge, right, it's a way they can connect to the realization that there is a creator to their creators. We go to the 20th name of God, Al Abid, the withholder. So imagine this is the perfect name for this lecture. It's not, excuse me, this is the perfect name of God that expresses the attribute that kind of fits into the context of this lecture and what this attribute is. So I'm saying, I'm standing here being like, yo man, as a human being I have all these expectations, but what do I expect from my expectations? I expect that the system admin knows what is unimaginably best for me compared to what I imaginably know is best for me. So if you are someone who suddenly, let's say, you want to go and meet someone and something in life withholds that from you, okay, where in your mind you're seeing something that's beautiful and perfect, but suddenly something withholds that from you. That is the system admin moving the minds of those around you to show you that, hey, you need to be withheld from this experience. We go to the next name of God. So anytime you with something is withheld, let me say it like this: noobs call it luck and being unlucky. Those who are conscious of the system admin are like, okay, patience. You just it's a sign to keep strengthen your faith and patiently continue. So the withholder, so that was the system admin can come and get the glass of water from your hand. So if something has not been withheld from you, it is mercy. Realize that there's a power beyond you here. We go to the 21st name of God. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Basit, the extender. That means if you want an extended life, if you want an extended anything, right, you also go and ask the system admin. What does that mean? That means God withholds from you, but God can also extend for you something in the world. Like, God knows that in my heart, I want to somehow like complete this project. It's up to God's mercy what ability of mine it extends. I am, guys, you don't get it. True wisdom begins when you realize you're nothing but not in the presence of people in the or yourself, but in the presence of the world and the system admin. In the sense that that might, it's like you were in the presence of original royalty, original beings. Not, excuse me, not original beings. The original being. So God, the system admin, can withhold and extend the output in the system. The 22nd name of God, Al Khafid, Khafiz, the reducer, the abaser. Any time in my life, whether it was like, me being shy and introverted and my twin brother like embarrassing me, or me in situations in public, being just, it was as if God was withholding my personality from the world, like most of my youth, you know it's as if anytime I have been reduced, even moments where, like yesterday, I was giving a talk and somebody shouted something, right? Or moments where I've been talking and suddenly out of nowhere, somebody's entered the chat and just like attacked me, like tried to break me. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, from one level, like, who the F are you? But from another level, it's in some sense, okay, maybe in this moment, because my standing with the system admin is more important, maybe in this moment I must be reduced. Let's say I get married, okay, right? And my wife reduces me. I can be like, yo, what are you doing? Or I could be like, like just look at her and be like, better. But on some level, maybe that has to happen. Maybe I have to reduce myself, right? So others around me, those others people in the world around me can, in some sense, you know, experience their expansion. Do you understand? Because it's very different. I like to truly reveal your advanced nature to others, right? Compared to being like, nah, man, it's like I'm a fool. Don't take me too seriously, but I want you to wonder how you are, an inactive genius, how your genius is still inactive. So, anyways, that means if somebody comes and reduces me, it is the system admin telling me it's standing, how I'm standing in the presence of God. I felt this in so many times when the lectures have disconnected when I was saying something. We go to the 23rd name of God, Ar Rafi, the exalter, the elevator. So there's a very beautiful concept in Islam that souls have ranks, and how you, in some sense, expand your rank, right, is that it's based on your deeds, of course, but also it is the mercy of the system admin. Do you understand? I saw today, I took a picture of it. I was outside and I saw this beautiful moment between two trees on the ground where there was an acorn exactly in the median, in the midpoint of these two trees, in the exact middle. And I saw that acorn on the ground, or it's like, and it's like seeing something in the wrong environment. So what that means is God can elevate my status. I'll give you an example. For example, I come and talk about God, let's say +1 point. Okay. And then, I'm walking around the day and I see, a beautiful friend of mine, and suddenly, like, I get in my mind, a lustful activity happens. It's like -1. Okay. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that God can only elevate you. That means if right now I could stand here and be like, "Yo, man, why don't I, why did my YouTube channel never lift off? Do you know why don't I have like crowds of people all assembling and building advanced research stations all over the world for humanity and having advanced discussions all over, right, in the evenings for the human race, right?" And it would be as if God has selected, like, as for now, is like, this is your status, buddy. This is your rank. Go live your day, and in the evenings, just come and give your voice. Give whatever you saw that was important, and then leave. Log out. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise to the original power. We're here. The end game of humans, the human, is to notice the system admin. I'm sorry, but I rather go and communicate to a higher power uh, than the lower power. Why? Because the lower power is lost beyond its own concern sometimes. Simulations can get messy. So it is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ar-Rafi, God the exalter. God can exalt you and elevate you. It is up to God. If right now, whoever you are listening to this, in your heart, you don't honor, like, this lecture, or you honor it, whatever, that's the mercy of the system, man. The 24th name of God, Al Moez, the honor, the bestower. So God is the ultimate honor. The ultimate honor is not to be knighted by a queen or king. It is, in some sense, to realize, to be honored by the system admin. When something nice happens for me, I'm like, the system admin is honoring me. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Muzil, the dishonorer, the humiliator. So the system admin can honor you, the system admin can dishonor you. Do you know I have become many times dishonored by my own expectations not going as expected. It hasn't been a commentary on those outside of me. It's just my own dishonor. You know, it's as if I'll be like, okay, I wasn't smart enough to figure this out, so I have dishonored myself. And then you're just in that moment of being dishonored until you realize, okay, I can still notice honor. I can still notice that which is beyond me. I can still change in ways that is closer to the main operating system of reality. So God can humiliate you even if you try so hard. And you could be like this, like, even a politician, and it's I'm telling you, the system admin, it's moving the moment. It's being administered by the divine surveillance state. 26. The divine surveillance state is something human beings can't touch. They can be aware of it, but they don't know it. The soul is the secret of God in Islam. The 26th name of God, As-Sami, the all-hearing. So it's everything being logged. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al-Basir, the 27th name of God, the all-seeing. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al-Hakam, the judge, the giver of justice. That means if you seek justice, just pray to God. Don't damn people. Just be like, God, watch over me. So, what is in the best way the situation happens? The 29th name of God, Al-Adl, the utterly just, completely fair. That means the fairness beyond worldly fairness. The next name of God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al-Latif, the subtle one, the most gentle. That means, if somebody thought, the soft, you know, touch of a beautiful woman, like that's the most gentle experience, you know, for a savage, let's say for a berserker, but God is the most gentle. One of my prayers is that God, if I'm going to die, just make it quick and graceful, gentle. That means I hope to have lived a life that I am worthy to be honored by this higher power. You don't understand the presence that's here. It's beyond human understanding. Emotions feel it because the soul is getting close to the original. The 31st name of God, Al Khabir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al Khabir. The acquainted, the all aware, that which knows everything. You can't hide anything. That means I might be able to hide my face from you, listener. I might be able to, not share details about my personal life, right? But I cannot hide anything in front of the system admin. I know the higher power is watching. Like an ant that knows it's on the fingertip of a human, like to give you a scale that's conscious, or a character in a novel conscious that the author is reading it right now. The 32nd name of God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Al Halim, the most forbearing. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-Azim, the magnificent, the supreme. When it says God is the most forbearing, this is where God is also the most merciful. That means doesn't render punishment right away. Maybe does, but it's in accordance to how God is utterly just, but also the most forbearing. 33rd name of God. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Azim. Guys, my laptop has low battery. I gotta read this quick. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Azim, the magnificent, the supreme. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Ghafur, the forgiving, the exceedingly forgiving. 35. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim ash-Shakur, the most appreciative. That is a beautiful name because, I hope that the species appreciates these lectures, but if I know that God has seen every part of them. That means I don't have any unrecorded lecture when it comes to the system admin. So it's good to know that the ultimate, that it's the same as being honored. 36. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Ali, the most high, the exalted. 37. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Kabir, the greatest, the most grand. 38. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Hafiz, the preserver, the all heedful and all protecting. 39. Al-Mughit, the sustainer, the maintainer. Guys, if you notice, every name of God is the most advanced possible archetype to the context of the word. Islam is the most advanced. It's one of the most advanced technologies because it's telling you to put your attention on a being that has the most advanced qualities and manifestation in being. So 39, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Mughit, the sustainer, the maintainer. 40th name of God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Hasib, the reckoner. 41st name of God, al-Jalil, the majestic. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. 42nd name of God, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Karim, the most generous, the most esteemed. 43rd name of God. Guys, I'm going to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim for all of them. This one's for all of them. In the name of God, the most benevolent and the merciful, I will continue. 43, Ar-Raqib, the watchful, the all watchful. 44, the 44th name of God, Al-Mujib, the responsive, the answer. That means God responds, but its response is not limited to worldly imaginable outcomes. 45th name of God, Al-Vasi, the all-encompassing, the boundless. 46th name of God, Al-Hakim, the all-wise. 47th name of God, Al-Wadud, the most loving. 48th name of God, Al-Majid, the glorious, the most honorable. The most greatest honor man can achieve is to be in the presence of the most honorable. You don't understand. You are being honored by being in the sight of the higher power, in the awareness of it. 49th name of God, Al-Baith, the infuser of new life. 50th name of God, Al-Shahid, Shahid, the all-observing witness. 51st name of God, Al-Haq, the absolute truth. There is the truth of the simulation is the system admin, the truth, the original. 52nd name of God, Al-Vakil, the trustee, the disposer of affairs. May God dispose the affairs of humanity in the most advanced and blessed way. God knows already better than we do. So this prayer is just praise of God. 53rd name of God, Al-Qawi, the all-strong. 54th name of God, the firm, the steadfast. That means if you're somebody who values strength or firmness, the system admin is the absolute value. In the world, it's limited. Your role models in the world can be limited. The prophets are important exceptions. 55th name of God, but the point is that you should directly go to the system admin in all your dealings in this world. 55th name of God, Al-Vali, but spelled differently, the protecting associate. 56th name of God, Al-Hamid, the praiseworthy. 57th name of God, Al-Muhsi, the all enumerating, the counter. So keep in mind, guys, no mods, nothing in the world is as praiseworthy as the original the one and only beyond the world, not limited to anything in it. 57th name of God, Al Muhsi, I read that. 58th name of God, Al Mubdi, the originator, the initiator. 59th name of God, Al Mu'id, the restorer, the reinstater. 60th name of God, Al Muhyi, the giver of life. 61st name of God, Al Mumit, the creator of death. Wow. Death was also created. 62nd name of God, Al Hay, the ever living. 63rd name of God, Al Qayyum, the sustainer, the subsisting. So, guys, when it says the creator of death, death is a moment of getting close to the system admin, getting ready for our meeting. 64th name of God, Al Wajid, the perceiver. 65th name of God, Al Majid, the illustrious, the magnificent. 66, that means the system admin is the most magnificent point of being. 66, name of God, Al Wahid, the one, the indivisible, that which has no partner. 67th name of God, Al Ahad, the unique, the only one, the one and only. 68th name of God, As Samad, the eternal satisfier of the eternal, comma, satisfier of needs. 69th name of God, Al Qadir, the omnipotent. 70, that means knows. I think the context of these are all subtle and different, but 70th name of God, Al Muqtadir, the powerful. You who seek power, the system admins, the closest you're going to get. It's the mercy of the system admin. 71st name of God, Al Muqaddim, the expediter, the promoter. 70, that means if you want reality to be promoted, you must seek the system admin. 72nd name of God, Al Muakhir, the delayer. 73rd name of God, Al Awal, the first. The 74th name of God, Al Akhir, the last, the utmost. Everything returns to the system admin. The original doesn't go anywhere. The simulation can have applicable verbs to it. 75, 75th name of God, Az-Zahir, the manifest, the all-surpassing. 76th name of God, Al-Batin, the hidden one, knower of the hidden. You understand? You can try to find God here. It is hidden. The hidden reality, it is all known by the system admin. It's all hidden to us for a reason. Do you know how many secrets of your own ability and possibility right now are held from you? And when you look at history, they're being generationally activated. The 77th name of God, Rabbi Fairley, the 77th name of God, Al-Walid, spelled differently again, the sole governor. That means all political students will realize that what governs the world is its administrator. 78th name of God, Al Muta'ali, the self exalted. That means God doesn't need anything, didn't need anybody to exalt it. It is the most exalted. It's like from the religious perspective, reality was created from the ultimate down. So to our ancestors, they were descending. But because all the atheistic movement and the whole don't acknowledge God, we think we're ascending. But we could still be descending. Who knows? God knows. 78th name of God. The battery's gonna 6%. All right, I gotta quickly finish this. 78th name of God. 78th name of God. Al Muta'ali. I read that. The self exalted. 79th name of God. Al Bar. The source of all goodness. The great goodness of it all. 80th name of God. Al Tawwab. The ever pardoning. 81st name of God. Al Muntaqim. The avenger. 82nd name of God, Al Afu, the partner. So it is important for me to actually point this out, that you shouldn't go seeking revenge. You should ask the greatest avenger. The next name of God here is 82nd name of God, Al Afu, the pardoner. 83rd name of God, Al Rauf, the most kind. 84th name of God, Malik al Mulk, master of the dominion, owner of the kingdom, Lord of the worlds. 85th name of God, Thul Jalali Val Ikram, possessor of glory and honor. That means the greatest glory belongs to the system admin. It's all in honor of the great power, the original power we're in the presence of. 86th name of God, Al Muqsit, the just one. 87th name of God, Al Jami, the gatherer, the uniter. 88th name of God, Al Qani, the self sufficient, the wealthy. 89th name of God, Al Mughni, the enricher. 90th name of God, Al Mani, the withholder, but again contextualized differently. 91st name of God, Ad Zar, the distresser. 92nd name of God, An Nafi, the propitious, the benefactor. 93rd name of God, An Nur, the light. 94th name of God. I mean, technically, the ancient Egyptians worshiping the sun as God, where some were close. 94th name of God, Al Hadi, the guide. You seek guidance and reality, seek it directly from the system admin. That means if I had a Discord server, for example, instead of asking the mods, come and ask me if I'm the system admin, and I'll tell you the best advice in accordance to what should happen in the system, in the Discord server. So God knows we need to go to God. 95th name of God, Al Badi, the incomparable originator. Like nothing compares to it to even be able to reject it. 96th name of God, Al Baghi, the everlasting. 97th name of God, Al Warith, the inheritor. Everything returns to the system admin. Us meeting the system admin is God, in some sense, inheriting its own, like having its own creation return to it. 98th name of God, Al Rashid. Sorry, so 96th name of God, Al Baghi, the everlasting. 97th name of God, Al Warith, the inheritor. 98th name of God, Al Rashid, the guide to the right path. 99 name of God, al sabur, the patient. Above all else, you require that, to be patient with all of this as it goes through. Anyways, thank you for listening. Due to technical difficulties and low battery laptop on my laptop, guys, the reason I read for you the 99 names of God was to give you a sense that you might think religion is old school, but what they ideals, and it was as if these 99 names of God are absolute. God is so absolute that if there were endless names of God, it would that were ultimate ideals. That means it's not here, right? But imagine there was the word the most advanced, like that would also be, I mean, it's here in some sense. I mean, are all these 90 names are giving you as an impression of this higher power being that in all of struggles and sufferings in all these sectors, it is the all powerful, it is the almighty. And so wonder about with your world, and when it comes to you know, satisfy this lecture, what do I expect from my expectations? My expectations have centralized around the value that the system admin knows. So I rather let the system admin bring the imaginable rather than in some sense beg for the imaginable, to try to claw at the imaginable. May God bring that which I truly deserve, for it is the all just, the all knowing, the ultimate guide, the ultimate support system is, you know, for example, products, they say contact the manufacturer for issues. So just this notion that our species is dawning upon an era where it has to manage its relationship with the system admin, all of us, the whole species, consciously. It has to manage its relationship with its world and what's exactly going on with the world consciously. It has to manage its relationship with the species, all of us here and all our outputs and expression. And then it has to, in some sense, it comes to itself. So when you realize you're at the mercy of a higher power, you will laugh at all the expected analysis where you can become as knowledgeable as you want. The wisdom of reality. Why do you think Sun Tzu said the general that aligns to heaven, to the heavens, wins against the general that aligns to the earth? Because the heavens is the realization. That means imagine what kind of general you have to be, that not only you have an army that you're leading into battle, right? And you have all your commanding officers and an advanced network communication system and the whole thing, and you're marching in the battle, and you've gone in the front lines to, in some sense, rekindle the honor of the spirit of the soldiers, right? And now imagine you also had to be conscious of the presence of the higher power, as if like, yo, there's one soldier in the enemy that is like, killing a lot of soldiers, or yo, the higher ground is there. Why is there higher ground accessible to me? It's like the higher power's guidance. So anyways, I'm pretty much telling you, we are reaching a way more sophisticated state of human affairs, and there will be a global revolution in what it truly means to be a human being, not because it's a concept we all accept, but because its concept arises from the context of where it is and what it does. So it's important where your attention is. If it's to the system admin, you're a level 4 being. You're pretty good job. Thank you for listening. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the most benevolent, the most merciful. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise due to the Lord of the worlds. Rabbi Ighfirli. May God forgive me. God forgive me. May my Lord forgive me. May God forgive us for all the sins that we are conscious and unconscious of. And above all, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. May God guide us to the direct path. May the most advanced guide us in the most advanced way. Thank you.